Chris, back at it after a little bit of a break, and I guess it's a break that's maybe especially useful to you given your circumstances, coming in from the ECHL, joining a new team, learning to fit in and contribute to the surroundings. How was it like to catch your breath a bit?
It was great. I made it home to Calgary, where the weather was a bit more favorable, so that was nice, and saw friends and family, and you're off the ice for 3-4 days, and more excited to come back and play.
Well, how is it when you go back and see family and friends to explain exactly what you're going through right now? Well, I started the season in Kalamazoo, but I'm not with them at the moment. I'm with the Manitoba Moose, but I'm not sure how long. How do you do all of that when you're catching up with people?
Yeah, I just kind of tell them I'm living out of my suitcase for the time being and enjoying it, and they all know who the Moose are, and I think they're pretty excited for me as well. So that's yeah.
You talk about living out of a suitcase. You're a guy who played a couple of stops in the Western Hockey League. You played Junior A in Alberta, 5 years with the University of Calgary. Been through a lot of things. Does anything compare to this?
Not quite. I mean, the travel in the Western Hockey League, I'd say, is a bit rougher when you're on a bus for sometimes 24 hours when you're going from conference to conference. So the travel's a bit worse. But like going on right now, we're getting snowed out on one of our flights, so we're kind of in limbo, just like any other league.
So it's always a learning thing, and I guess the guys who can adapt are the ones who are the most successful. You seem to be adapting very nicely here. Talk about what it's been like to be able to contribute with a few goals.
It's been good. I mean, the goals weren't exactly highlight reel goals, but I was really happy to get them, and any way the fourth line can contribute, that's kind of our goal, is to be reliable defensively and put a couple up.
It's interesting you talk about the fourth line, quote unquote, because in Saturday's game in Milwaukee, you guys started to get more and more ice as the game went along. You were put in some different spots as well, including the power play. How much of a point of pride is that to be able to come in and earn some more time on the ice?
That was definitely exciting for me to get more opportunity, to get a bit more rhythm in the game. But it was a rough game for us as a team, and any of those games you kind of just have to play them out and try and win the period and get some momentum for the next game.
What has it been like for your game as you adjust here at the American Hockey League level? What have you noticed, and what have you done to try and make the most of your ability?
Well, I mean, just defensively, you got to be focused all the time. Pretty much every player is a threat, so you can't give them time or space. And offensively, it's the exact opposite. None of the D-men, they all step up on me right away. So I mean, it's really about maximizing any mistakes they make and making sure you shoot the puck.
The more time you get, are you more able to be yourself and just play your game and think less about, I better make a good impression here?
So far, I'm noticing it's kind of, you gotta take it game by game, and I'm just making sure that I'm ready to go each time. Feeling a bit more comfortable, but I don't want to get complacent with where I'm at, and got to make sure that I'm still bringing my game and trying to create some offense.
And in order to be ready for coming out of the break, you came back and took part in the optional skate yesterday. You get the skate in prior to the trip to Milwaukee. How important is it to just be around the group and more be a regular part of things, just in your comfort level, to be able to compete and contribute as well?
Yeah, I think there's definitely something to, if the guys are comfortable with you off the ice, then it makes for more chemistry on the ice, and just being around the guys in a couple extra days helps, and getting the kind of the break legs out and moving again. So that was good, and just excited to hopefully get it on the plane today and get out.
Well, lastly, I just want to ask you about the chance to face off with Milwaukee again. That last game before the break was a tough one. You mentioned that earlier. As a competitor, do you like the idea of seeing them again right away?
I think that's best case scenario. We can go back and maybe get some revenge against them, and get the 2 points and a split. But splits aren't ideal. But at this point, I think that's what we'd take.